Hi Anna, here is the first version of the closet. I'm really only showing you this to show that I have made more than one attempt at it. So I've made the shell translucent there. These gliding racks are for flat shoes, and there is another version there for heels. That's a 600 wide unit. The heeled unit is slightly more efficient. It holds 9 pairs of shoes, and the flat one holds 6. That does depend slightly on the width of the shoes though. For a gent's shoe that will only hold 5 pairs, with one being split back to front. So let's look at what else we can do with the space. The smallest shelf Elfa make as a wired product, which is the cheapest, easiest solution, is 300 deep. Now that virtually contacts that edge of the shoe rack, so it will fit in, but there isn't a shelf that will fit into this bay here because of the reduced width there. You've got 235 millimeters there. So there are things that we could put into that bay if we had the 300mm deep wire shelves on that side, but I then decided to look at another option, which is the same array of shoe racks. It doesn't matter what, whether you go flats or heels flat, doesn't make a lot of difference. You can arrange those how you like. I would say don't go beyond shoulder height, because they are then going to get difficult to lift in and out and, you know, choose the shoes you want. But as you can see, I've shown flat board shelves as an alternative in that bay, which gives you slightly more room there for that gap, and then it also means that you can create a specific bespoke depth of shelf in there. The top space, that could be, I've only shown one shelf, it could have 2, it could have 3. There's lots of other things you could do with that. Excuse me, I always end up yawning making these videos. The next space is the pantry space, which you can get a 10 rung high tower in there. I started off by looking at a 7 rung. Let me just show you that. I'm going to hide that unit. Yeah, so the 7 rung fits in there as well, but the 10 rung is a better fit, and that's going to give you more storage. Now it might even be, there's quite a gap. You didn't give me this door width here, so I've shown it as 1.5 meters. If you could tell me what that door opening is, it would be useful to know, because it's possible that you could get, these are the 45s, it might be possible that you could get one or more 55 wide units into this void. I've shown them with wheels on just in case you know, it was going to be useful to sort of pull them in and out. I guess that again is dependent on the door width really. I think that's a good solution. I'm not sure what you do with the 4 runner high unit that you've already got. I think it's probably going to end up being quite wasteful to build the design around that 4 runner unit. Although one thing you could do is you could stack another 4 runner unit on top, but there would be a mismatch in heights unless you built all of these as doubled up 4 runner units, which would give you an 8 unit high piece, which would be about there. Again, I think you're going to end up wasting storage space just to use the 4 runner units you have, but that is your choice. Okay, I've put some 2D drawings together, some 3D views, and I'm now going to price these and send them over to you. Thanks a lot, bye bye.